The late afternoon sun cast long shadows across the prestigious Cambridge University campus, its golden rays filtering through ancient oak trees and illuminating the weathered stone of the lecture halls. Among the flood of students rushing to their next classes, one figure stood out, not because of his appearance, but precisely because of how unremarkable he seemed. Keanu Reeves, dressed in his characteristic simple attire, faded jeans, a plain black t-shirt, and well-worn sneakers, moved through the crowd with an almost invisible grace. His usual humble demeanor made him blend into the sea of students, despite his fame. He had arrived at Cambridge to deliver a physics lecture at the special request of an old friend from the faculty, but had decided to take a quiet walk around campus first. What happened next would leave everyone in that lecture hall completely speechless. But to understand the story, let's begin with the events of that fateful afternoon. Before we continue, let us know where you're watching from. And don't forget to subscribe for more incredible stories like this one coming your way tomorrow. The mathematics building loomed ahead, its Gothic architecture a testament to centuries of academic tradition. Students hurried past with their backpacks laden with textbooks, their conversations a mixture of complaints about upcoming exams and excitement about weekend plans. The air smelled of autumn leaves and the faint aroma of coffee from a nearby campus cafe. Keanu entered the building, intending to meet his friend in the faculty lounge, but took a wrong turn and found himself in one of the large lecture halls. Students were already filing in, and he noticed a seat in the back row. Curiosity piqued about experiencing a Cambridge mathematics lecture as an anonymous observer, he quietly slipped into the seat. As he settled in, the door at the front of the room swung open with dramatic force. Professor Marcus Whitmore, the university's most renowned and most feared calculus professor, strode in like a peacock in full display. His Savile Row suit cost more than most students' annual textbooks budget, and his Italian leather shoes clicked against the hardwood floor with practiced authority. "Well, well, well," Whitmore began, his voice dripping with condescension. "I trust you've all completed the advanced differential equations I assigned, though judging by the looks on your faces, I suspect many of you found them challenging." He smiled, clearly relishing the students' discomfort. The professor's reputation preceded him. Brilliant, yes, but also notorious for his elitist attitude and penchant for publicly humiliating students. He believed mathematics was a gift reserved for the chosen few, and he considered himself the chief gatekeeper. As Whitmore scanned the room, his gaze landed on Keanu in the back row. The professor's lip curled into a sneer at the sight of the casually dressed man who appeared too old to be a typical student. "I see we have a visitor," Whitmore announced, his voice carrying across the lecture hall. "Sir, this is an advanced calculus class, not a movie theater. Are you perhaps lost?" The entire room turned to look at Keanu, who remained characteristically calm. "No, Professor," he replied simply. "I'm just here to observe, if that's all right." Whitmore's eyebrows rose in mock surprise. "Observe? This isn't entertainment, my friend. Mathematics requires years of rigorous study and a certain intellectual caliber." He paused, letting the insult hang in the air. "Perhaps you'd be more comfortable in an introductory algebra class?" Murmurs rippled through the students. Some shifted uncomfortably, recognizing the professor's attempt to humiliate their unexpected guest. Others leaned forward, sensing drama about to unfold. Keanu met Whitmore's gaze steadily. "I think I'll stay, thank you. I've always found calculus fascinating." Whitmore's smile turned predatory. "Fascinating? Really? Then perhaps you'd like to demonstrate your fascination by solving a problem for us?" He turned to the whiteboard and wrote out a complex triple integral. "Since you're so intrigued by calculus, surely you can handle this basic exercise?" The equation sprawled across the board was anything but basic. Even the brightest students in the class would have struggled with it. It was clearly a trap, designed to embarrass. Keanu stood slowly, his movements deliberate. "I'd be happy to try," he said, walking down the aisle toward the front of the room. "By all means," Whitmore said, offering the marker with exaggerated courtesy. "Show us your expertise." As Keanu approached the board, Whitmore continued his commentary. "Class, this is precisely why I emphasize the importance of proper education. People think they can simply observe mathematics and understand it, But true comprehension requires dedication, discipline, and natural aptitude, qualities that are, sadly, in short supply these days. Keanu took the marker without comment and studied the problem for a moment. Then, with quiet confidence, he began to write. His hand moved with surprising speed and precision, equations flowing across the board in neat, methodical steps. Whitmore's smirk began to fade as he watched Keanu work. The man wasn't simply copying memorized formulas. He was demonstrating deep understanding, using advanced techniques that went beyond what Whitmore had taught his class. 5 minutes later, Keanu stepped back. The solution was not only correct but elegant, using a sophisticated approach that even Whitmore hadn't considered. The lecture hall fell silent. Students stared in amazement, then at their professor, whose face had turned an interesting shade of red. "As you can see," Keanu said calmly, "sometimes the most complex problems have simple solutions when viewed from the right perspective." He turned to face the class. "Mathematics, like life, is about seeing patterns others miss and finding beauty in the abstract." Whitmore struggled to find his voice. Where did you learn this approach?" he finally managed. Keanu smiled gently. "I studied physics at MIT before my acting career took off. I find that keeping my mind active with mathematics helps me stay grounded in a world that often feels surreal." A student in the front row gasped, "Wait, are you Keanu Reeves?" The recognition spread like wildfire through the room. Whispers turned to excited chatter as students realized they had just witnessed the Matrix star solve an advanced calculus problem that had stumped many of them. Whitmore's face went from red to pale. "You're the actor?" "Among other things," Keanu replied modestly. "But more importantly, I'm someone who believes knowledge should be shared, not used as a weapon to make others feel small." The professor's arrogance crumbled visibly. I had no idea. I apologize for my earlier behavior." Keanu placed the marker back on the board's ledge. "Professor, true wisdom isn't about what we know, but how we use that knowledge to lift others up. You have the opportunity to inspire these students, to show them the beauty of mathematics. Why waste that gift on belittling people?" The room remained silent as Whitmore absorbed these words. Finally, he nodded slowly. "You're right. I've lost sight of why I became a teacher in the first place." Keanu turned to address the class. "Mathematics isn't about proving you're smarter than everyone else. It's a universal language that connects us all. Whether you're an actor, a professor, or a student, we're all here to learn from each other." The students burst into spontaneous applause. Keanu nodded graciously and began to make his way back to his seat. "Wait," Whitmore called out. Would you consider guest lecturing? I think we could all learn something from your perspective." Keanu paused, then smiled. "I'd be honored. Perhaps we could solve some problems together, as equals." Over the next hour, the atmosphere in the lecture hall transformed completely. Whitmore, humbled by the experience, began teaching with a newfound humility and openness. Keanu contributed insights that bridged the gap between theoretical mathematics and practical application, sharing anecdotes from his film career where mathematical concepts had helped him visualize complex fight choreography and special effects sequences. As the class drew to a close, students lingered, eager to ask questions and take selfies with their unexpected celebrity professor. Keanu graciously accepted, but made sure to redirect attention back to the importance of their studies. Whitmore approached him afterwards, his demeanor completely changed. "Mr. Reeves, Keanu, I owe you a profound apology. I've been so caught up in my own ego that I forgot the true purpose of education." Keanu placed a hand on the professor's shoulder. "We all lose our way sometimes. The important thing is finding it again. You know, I've played many roles in my career, but the most important one is being a decent human being." The professor nodded thoughtfully. "You've taught me more today than I've taught my students all semester. How can I thank you?" "By being kinder to the next person who walks through that door," Keanu replied. "By remembering that everyone has something to teach us, whether they're wearing a suit or a t-shirt." As they walked out of the building together, the setting sun painted the sky in brilliant oranges and purples. Students gathered in small groups on the quad, still buzzing about what they had witnessed. "You know," Whitmore said, "I've always believed that mathematics reveals the truth about the universe. Today, It revealed something about myself I needed to see. Keanu smiled. That's the beauty of learning. Sometimes the most profound discoveries aren't about theorems or equations, but about who we are and who we can become. The two men parted ways at the campus gate, but the impact of that afternoon would resonate far beyond the lecture hall. Professor Whitmore became known as one of the most approachable and inspiring teachers at Cambridge. Famous for telling the story of the day Keanu Reeves taught him humility. As for Keanu, he continued his quiet journey through life, leaving behind moments of kindness and wisdom wherever he went, proving that true genius isn't just about what you know, it's about how you use that knowledge to make the world a little bit better. What's your takeaway from this story? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more inspiring stories of unexpected wisdom and human kindness. Tomorrow will bring you another tale that will challenge your perceptions and warm your heart. Remember, we're all on this journey of learning together. Sometimes the greatest teachers come in the most unexpected packages, and the most profound lessons happen when we least expect them. Until next time, keep your minds open and your hearts humble.